How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of Schmoedown Central. I'm host Brad Thomas, breaking down the week that was in the movie trivia Schmoedown. Apologies for getting this episode up a little later than I would have liked to. Busy this whole weekend, working a lot, so finally got a chance to sit down and record the episode, finish watching the episodes, and all the matches that happened at the giant live event, the last one of the year. So very exciting feat for the Schmoedown. Again, 3 live events this year alone, which was awesome to see, and it created such great energy for this week's episode. So without further ado, let's get right to it, breaking down the team match that happened on Tuesday. So for the first match at the live event, we had Founding Fathers taking on Wait I Know This. Wait I Know This comprised of Stacy Howard and WInston Marshall taking on the Founding Fathers, which were comprised of Dangerous Dan Murrell and the Outlaw John Rocha. Round number 1, most competitors put up a solid game. Dan Murrell ends up going 5 for 8, and John Rocha, he goes 7 for 8, a solid point total on the Founding Fathers side. Stacy, on the other hand, she goes 6 for 8, getting more than Dan in round number 1. But WInston Marshall only able to eke out 1 point, but it was a big point, the only one to get question number 4, getting the Shrek question correct. So Winston, despite having the low point total in round number 1, did have a standout moment in the round. This, of course, all led to a 12-7 lead for the Founding Fathers. Round number 2, Wait I Know This was up first, and they spin the category of Pixar movies and really navigate their way through this round using the multiple choice option. They go 6 for 6, getting a possible 7 out of 12 points, a solid round for them to get them the lead temporarily. Even though they only managed to get 7 out of 12 points in the round, again, navigating that multiple choice really was handy. This gave Wait I Know This the 14-12 lead midway through round 2. Founding Fathers were up next, and they unfortunately spin the category of Opponent's Choice, and Wait I Know This sticks them with movie release dates, and again another solid way to navigate through the round using multiple choice to their advantage, going 6 for 6, getting possible 8 out of 12 points, slightly more than Wait I Know This. But even though Dan and Rocha potentially knew them on that 2-pointer, they wanted to be certain to go to that multiple choice option. This gave the Founding Fathers now a 20-14 lead at the end of round 2. Round 3, Wait I Know This needed to get some points on the board to force it back to the Founding Fathers. Question number 1 came in the category of Tom Cruise movies, and Winston ends up using both of the 2 remaining GTE rules for his team. Not the best strategy here when you have 2 more questions worth more points coming up, but could not get the correct answer as well. Stacy was then up, and she gets the category of Brad Pitt movies and gets that correct answer, forcing them to hit their 5-point question, which came in the category of fantasy sci-fi, came in that Lord of the Rings Middle-earth realm, and unfortunately not able to get the correct answer as the Founding Fathers win it 20-17 via TKO. With the victory, the Founding Fathers improve to 1-0, while Wait I Know This, they fall to 0-1. Founding Fathers, they end up going 18 for 22 for 82%, while Wait I Know This, they end up going 14 for 25 for 56%. On the individual side of things, John Rocha leading the way, going 7 for 8 for 88%, while his partner Dan Murrell, he goes 5 for 8 for 63%. Stacy Howard leading the way for her team, going 7 for 9 for 78%, while Winston only going 1 for 9 for 11%. Not the best game for Winston. Had Winston put up a couple more points, we could have been looking at a 3rd round for the Founding Fathers, but that was not the case, as the Founding Fathers take this one, moving on in the tournament. So the Founding Fathers moving on in the team tournament. Rocha and Murrell, when they're playing their A game, it's going to be a tough team to beat for anyone going forward, especially with Rocha again and Murrell on their A games, and they seem to be back to that tip-top shape there. So we'll see exactly what happens there. But of course, Stacy Howard, I think the unsung hero in this match, she had played a great game, and she did apparently know the last question there, that 5-pointer. Unfortunately, of course, Winston said no, might be Orlando Bloom. Wasn't the case, but a big, like taking on these 2 juggernaut teams. Big props to Winston and Stacy for doing that, but I'm excited to see where this takes us down this Anarchy team tournament. It would be very, very exciting to see. But let's get into the Innergeekdom Championship match. So for the main event, we had Jason Inman taking on Mara Knopic. Mara coming in with the 4-0 record, undefeated, 2 knockouts, looking to take out Jason Justice Inman, the champion, at 4-1 with 2 knockouts. Round number 1 saw both competitors go toe-to-toe and not miss on much. Jason Inman, he goes 8 for 10 in that first round, a solid score for him, while Mara Knopic, she goes 7 for 10, only 1 less question than Jason, keeping the score close after 1 round by these 2 well-rounded competitors. Round number 2, Mara up first. She spins the category of movie release dates, taking a chance on this category that we don't know if Mara's strong at, but she soon put doubts aside as she went 5 for 5, getting 9 out of 10 possible points in the round, only having to go to multiple choice the one time, getting all the rest at 2-point questions, making the most of her round number 2, a very impressive feat for Mara to give her now the 16-8 lead midway through round 2. Jason Inman, he was up next, and he spun the category of Star Wars movies. Not his biggest strengths in the Innergeekdom, but still something that he's solid at. And Jason Inman does okay for himself, going 4 for 5, only missing on 1 question, not giving up a steal, and getting 6 out of a possible 10 points. He uses multiple choice wisely when needed to keep it within 2 of Mara, as the score was now 16-14 for Mara at the end of round 2. Round 3 saw the betting round, and it came in the category of Middle-earth movies. Jason Inman, he bet 2 points. Mara, she bet 2 points, and unfortunately for Jason, losing those 2 points while Mara ends up gaining the 2 points. Could it be an omen of things to come with the Lord of the Rings Middle-earth realm? We'll just have to wait and see. This, of course, now gave Mara the 18-12 lead after round 3. And in round number 4, we had the speed round. Jason now needing to make up the 6-point gap and get a couple questions here in the speed round, and he does exactly that. He goes 3 for 3 for questions he decided to answer, while Mara going 1 for 1 for questions he decided to answer. There was, of course, one question nobody wanted their hand at, and at the end of round 4, it was 19-15 for Mara. 5th and final round, Jason Inman down by 4, and question number 1 came in the category of villains, and he gets that first question correct. Question number 2, the 3-pointer, came in the category of who said it. Could be a difficult type of question here, but Jason Inman does it justice and gets it correct, giving him now the 1-point lead over Mara, which forces Mara to then hit her 2-point question, which came in the category of the MCU, and she gets that question correct, sending it again back over to Jason Inman by a score of 21-20. Jason Inman's 5-point question came in the category of Lord of the Rings movies, and it was a very, very difficult question. Had to get the correct type of wine, and unfortunately for Jason Inman, could not do so, as Mara wins it 21-20, becoming the new Innergeekdom champion over Jason Inman. What a way to end the night. With the victory, Mara improves to 5-0, still undefeated with 2 knockouts, while Jason, he falls to 4-2 with 2 knockouts. Mara, one of her best games, going 15 for 18 for 83% for questions she was asked, while Jason, he goes 17 for 22 for 77%. Not a bad percentage by Jason Inman, but Mara came to play in this one, proving that she is a worthy champion and stealing the belt from Jason Inman. So Jason Inman says he might be taking a little bit of a break, so he'll probably come back at some point. He's a worthy champion. I'd love to see a rematch go down, but instead we're going to get a different type of rematch, as Kalinowski, Ken Knapsack, and Chant Ellison come down, part of corruption, interrupting Mara's post-game speech, and says basically, I want to challenge you. I made you here. We met in the finals here. I lost on a bogus question in his opinion. So now we're going to get Kalinowski versus Mara at the Spectacular, kind of weaseling his way up there, going through Thad, and of course, and Thad scheduling this thing. I'm still curious to see what Kalinowski has over Thad with that piece of paper. I'm very interested to see it. It seems like a long storyline, probably paid off at the Spectacular. I assume we'll find out exactly what that's all about. But worthy win for Mara Knopic, and again, she's probably proved me a little bit wrong. I mean, I thought she was really good out of the gate, but I don't think she was the chosen one, as a lot of people were saying. But I'm not gonna lie, as match has gone on, the Kalinowski match, the Rachel Cushing match, now this championship match, arguably her best match here. You can count me, I'm not a doubter no more. I was always a fan of Mara's personality and stuff like that, but now I do not doubt her talents inside the ring here at the match. And again, worthy champion here, and I'm excited to see if she can take out Kalinowski yet again at the Spectacular. That'll be interesting to see. But let's get into what's coming up next week, of course, with the Anarchy Team Tournament. So on Tuesday, we got the Paddington 2 taking on the War Machines. Paddington 2, of course, comprised of Matt Ashley and Alonzo Duralde, 2 good friends. I'm excited to see them team up and go toe-to-toe with the War Machines. And of course, the War Machines comprised of Janine the Machine and Brian Walton. The only ranking competitor here is Brian Walton, so we'll see how he does in the ring. If you're putting money on this thing, I'd have to go with, of course, the Paddington 2, as they're 2 competitors that have proven themselves here in the Schmoedown and do have a wealth of knowledge. But Janine has been on the rise, and Brian Walton could, for all we know, be the breakout superstar. And then on Friday, we got the Odd Couple taking on Team Sebs. The Odd Couple, of course, comprised of Jeff Snyder and Mark Andrego. That'll be a very interesting team dynamic. I'm very excited to see that team try to work together. And of course, Andrego, a former member of the Lions Den, but taking on Team Seb, which of course has Sean Gerber and Scott Mance. Gerber has been a solid competitor, and Mance always comes to play, but I think you're going to take the Odd Couple in this one. Jeff Snyder, who's almost made it to a title shot, and of course Andrego making it there, of course losing to the Beast. I think they will definitely be a very, very strong team to beat in the tournament. So for our play of the week, that's got to be Mara's round number 2, sticking with movie release dates and going 5 for 5, 9 out of possible 10 points, one of the stronger round 2s we've seen ever. Almost perfect, but did not miss a question, only going to multiples on one question there, and Mara proved herself that movie release dates is a big strong suit, at least for the Innergeekdom part of this thing, and it really set her up to take the victory from Jason Inman after that round. As for our misplay of the week, it's almost more like a turning point in the game, and that's going to be round number 3 of the Innergeekdom match. Jason Inman betting 2 points and losing those 2 points. Had Jason bet only 1 point, it of course forces Mara to then hit her 3-pointer or potential 5-pointer if she misses that, and could indeed force it to overtime. Or of course, if he bet 0 points, then of course you're still looking at the same type of scenario and a potential win had Mara then missed her 3-pointer and 5-pointer. Although unlikely, it was a big turning point in the match. Not so much a misplay, but it's one of the things that did stand out. But our play of the week has to be the amazing Mara Knopic 5-0 record, first one in Innergeekdom to do so, the new champion, going 83%, one of her best performances yet to date, and proving herself a worthy champion. I'm excited to see how her career goes up from here, taking on Kalinowski at the Spectacular, and that'll be very interesting to see. So that is this episode of Schmoedown Central. Again, be sure to like, comment, and of course subscribe for videos each week. Of course, love to hear all your thoughts on predictions on the Anarchy team tournament. Who you think is going to win next week's matches? If you agree, you disagree with my misplay player of the week, of course, let me know all of that. And a big shout out, if you're watching any of this, to Christian Harloff and company, everyone at Collider, everyone at Full Screen for putting this on. It's just, even as a viewer not being there, it's just exciting seeing this whole live event go down. The atmosphere, you can kind of feel it. It just adds to the emotion of it. And I'd love to see more of these live events in the future. Hopefully you guys can get the budget to do so, because and of course, if you're not a patron already, please support it. $1 goes a long way. If everyone does $1, this Schmoedown is off and running for history, basically, or at least it sets it up to expand and move forward in the future. But anyways, hopefully that does go down, and of course, again, like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Follow me on Twitter at 94BradThomas or at Schmoedown to keep up to date in my world and the world of Schmoedown Central, and love hearing from you there as well. So without further ado, I will talk to you guys next week on Schmoedown Central.